I'm Jen Kerman with Premier Nationwide Lending, and here today have Ms. Kerri Hubbard with us from Powers Insurance Expert, and we're just going to chat a little bit today and kind of interview Kerri and let us know what she does and a little bit about herself.
Yeah.
So here you go, Kerri.
Thanks for having me, Jen.
Welcome.
So I am kind of have multiple different backgrounds, but my first background is speech language pathology, and then I owned a furniture store. And now I'm in insurance. And so I think most people would say, like, these are totally different things. But to me, I feel like they're very similar in the sense that I'm dealing with people. I am, definitely relationship focused when it comes to just giving people what they need in a circumstance that maybe they don't really understand what they need or what they want. And so with speech, it was just helping them with their communication, with the furniture store, helping them choose things for their home. And most people just need a little bit of encouragement, and I think carrying that into the insurance world has been extremely helpful for me.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, definitely the communication ties all together with all of those, and even though they are very different, you can still, there's always some way to connect something, and that for sure is a great way. So tell me a little bit about yourself, your background, what are you passionate about, some of your hobbies.
Yeah, so I'm learning new hobbies as I transition into this next season of life, but I love being with my family and friends. I love being outside. I love hosting. I love
we do have
reading.
Some margarita nights here sometimes.
Yes. Reading. I love playing golf. That's a new hobby that I started with my parents, and I love that. And then obviously I love just like pretty interiors. I love, making my home feel cozy and helping other people decorate theirs.
Which, as you can see, we are actually in Kerri's house, and she does have it beautifully decorated. We actually had a hard time picking out a spot where we're going to do this, so because she's got so many beautiful spots. But here we are. So
only the downstairs.
Yeah, that's like everyone's house, right? So you're currently, we discussed, you're an insurance agent now. So tell me a little bit about that. What kind of drew you to it, and obviously going from different backgrounds. What led you to there, and how do how are you moving forward with it?
I think I was trying to take it slow into this next season where I just didn't know what I really wanted to do with my life next, in terms of career-wise. And when my husband and I met with Jeremy Powers, who's the owner of the insurance company, and I really loved the conversation that we had. I feel like I had written in my journal. I didn't feel like I did write in my journal about 4 months ago, just kind of some of the things that I would want in a job if the shop, if the shop needed to close. And I felt like when I had talked to him and the values of their company just really aligned with me and the way that I want to treat people and the way that I want to act in a professional manner.
Which is super important.
Yes.
And, our jobs are kind of similar that, where, I'm helping people with the biggest, financial decision of their life. And your job kind of ties into that, whether it's home, autos, whatever it is that you offer to them. It really it makes an impact on your life. And I think for me too, that's a big thing for me. We're a little bit different in what we're doing, but we all have the same goal, we're there protecting and getting them to where they need to be. So that's really important, and having a company that shares that value and how you see yourself as well with that is really important. So I
think that one of the biggest things that drew me to it, some people would say insurance, you're going from a design to insurance, or furniture store to insurance. I'm like, yeah, but when we sat down and talked about it, it really is protecting people's their life. They've worked their whole life to have the cars they have, the homes they have, and the savings they have. And if something were to happen and they don't have the right coverage, then
they don't have it anymore.
Yeah, they can lose that.
And it's investing in their self, whether they're shopping for new furniture to decorate their new home, or then investing in it to protect it. It does kind of tie together. It's just kind of two sides of it. So that's really important. So a little bit with your company, what sets your company apart? There's so many insurance companies out there. Obviously, there's national ones, there's privately owned. What sets your company apart from, maybe some of the bigger box? Obviously, it's a little more boutique, if you will, agency. So kind of tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, I think there's a few things that set us apart. One, just obvious that we're an independent brokerage, so we work with multiple A-plus carriers where we can really kind of shop the market for for our clients.
Which that's great because you want to get them the best deal and the right
best
coverage for them.
Best price. You know, like we're not super price focused, but we are coverage focused. But we want to make sure, like if one carrier has the coverage at $1,000 and the other one has the same thing at $1,300, we are going to give them
Of course,
we just want to make sure. But so that's one thing. And then the other two things, which I think are a little bit more appealing for what sets our company apart, is that we really do, like I just touched on a little earlier, like value that relationship with our clients, and we want to be their advocate. So when we send a quote video, when we send a quote, we send a video. We want them to like truly understand what they're getting. And so it's kind of a little like educational moment. So we say we're the educators and they're the bill payers. So like we want them to make an informed decision, but they can't make an informed decision without knowing exactly what the policy is.
Right. And for us too, we're, obviously we're here filming a video to share with you some information. We're building on that as well and making videos attaching to milestones with loans. So as they reach, processing or underwriting and going through kind of what the next steps, we're doing that video process as well to share with them, because again, reading on paper, but hearing and seeing someone, it gives it that definitely more personal touch. And it's just sometimes a face to a name, but you're explaining to them. I think it makes the client more at ease and it helps them understand it better too, which is wonderful.
Right, exactly. And then the last thing that I think is like really beneficial for our company too is that we have just a simple link that like we can collect their information in less than a minute with a link that we can send out, and it's on our back of our business cards with a QR code. And we have additional questions that we ask as well. There's always going to be little like details we need to collect, but the ability for someone to say like, maybe I would want a new quote. I think the hardest thing is doing all the work
up
for
the phone.
it. Yeah.
Yes.
So if they just have to like fill out a link, and it takes like under a minute for us to get their current information, then we can start the quoting process right there.
And I know for me, like when we've moved or got a new car, like, oh, let's, every year they always say it's good to kind of shop a little bit and see what's out there. So I remember us it's like picking up that phone, you're like, okay, I got to have my coverage in front of me because they're going to ask me that. So it's great that, everyone's so busy nowadays. Anything that can help any client in any business, expedite the process a little bit or make it a little more at ease for them, that's wonderful. So great for your company with that kind of technology they have.
Exactly.
So obviously I know you're a little bit new in the insurance business, but you're not new to working in life. And so what are kind of some of the challenges maybe that you faced, going from a business owner to insurance, or from a speech pathologist to business owner? What are a few kind of things that challenged you, and how did you overcome them to get you to where you are today?
I think just when you start any new job, it's a whole new industry you're learning. It's not just the job itself, it's like a whole new world. And that fascinates me, to be honest, because even when I went from, the speech pathology world to the furniture world, and I went to market for the first time, I was like, oh my gosh, this is a whole world of people out there focused on this field. Same with insurance, it's a whole new world. And I think the biggest challenge that I've had is just to give myself some grace if I don't know something, because it is a whole industry. And, I obviously will, do my best to learn every single day and, keep up with different things. But because we work with multiple different carriers, things are changing through multiple different, people. So we just need to be, I just need to be continually learning each day so that I feel more confident,
Well, and similar to my job, we have guidelines are always changing, rules, things are always changing. So I understand when you feel for that. I too came from a completely different background myself. I came from the hospitality and food world, which same thing for me when we were just actually talking about before we started videoing our class and taking our exams for our new careers. And, we were like, it's like learning a whole new language because you're not familiar with the words they're saying or what they mean. So like you, I am learning all the time too. And I think that's what makes our businesses, great, because you're not just learning once and that's it. Like, you're growing as the business and company and, insurance and mortgages are ever changing. You have to keep up with it, so it keeps you fresh in everything, which is really great. So I'm like you too. I have to give myself some grace if I don't know the answer. We always say, kind of fake it till you make it. Not really fake it, but kind of say, well, I'm 99% sure, we do have some things that change a lot, so let me just clarify. And it's okay to say that. Not everyone knows everything.
Honest,
and yes, be honest. And I think your clients really, appreciate that a lot more too. And that way, for certain that when you do come back with that answer, that it's 100% correct. So it's hard to keep up with things sometimes as guidelines and rules and things for policies change and weather affects things. We just kind of went through a storm here, and then in southern Florida too. So again, for both of our businesses, I know the last week, for insurance, it can change quickly. If people were ready to close right before the storm and then it got postponed, they may need to have another inspection done to make sure that the home wasn't damaged. So there's definitely all these new things that are happening all the time. I always say there's never the same day or same loan file in this business because nothing is ever duplicated the same. So, well, I'm so happy to, talk to you today, Kerri, and kind of watch you on your journey here. We met through your shop, and, as hard as it was to watch you see it go, things happen for a reason.
They do.
You always remember that you had that time in your life, and it was wonderful, and now you're able to help people in a different direction. It's really, really incredible. And I know for me, it's a very heartwarming thing, even though jobs are very different, we're still helping people protect and give them new things. So it's really important. So thank you so much for taking the time today, Kerri. I really appreciate it. If you are in the South Carolina area and need some insurance or thinking about changing your insurance, please give Kerri a call. That's Powers Insurance Experts in Columbia, South Carolina. Thanks so much, Kerri, and we'll be in touch soon.
Thanks,
Jen. All right.